I've never seen such a man lose his control. He's lost his emotional self-control. That was Eric Schmidt.
That was pretty ugly to watch. That guy could not keep his cool here, having a complete meltdown. Well, these losers have been so sheltered for years, they don't know how to interact with human beings anymore. Weak men create hard times. Eric Schmidt is a very weak man. Yep. But back to the WF. We also got a clip of Trump making fun of Emmanuel Macron when he's in the room. So to put this clip into context, prescription drugs in America are outrageously expensive, but around the world, the same companies that make them in America sell them in other countries like France much, much cheaper, dramatically cheaper. Donald Trump has a conversation with a Macron telling him he's got to bring the price up, and America will bring down their price a lot. And if he does this with multiple countries, it'll basically level out the costs.
I said, I guarantee you. But I actually started with Emmanuel, who probably is in the room too. And I like him. I actually like him. Hard to believe, isn't it? And I said, Emmanuel, you're going to have to lift the price of that pill to $20, maybe $30. Think of that. That means it's a doubling of prescription drugs. Might be a tripling, might be a quadrupling. It's not easy. No, Donald, I will not do that. I said, yes, you will, 100%. He said, no, you're asking me to double. I said, Emmanuel, you've been taking advantage of the United States for 30 years with prescription drugs. You really should do it, and you will do it. I have no doubt. In fact, I am 100% sure you're going to. No, I will not do it. Because yes, in all fairness, he has to double or triple. Because the world being a bigger place than the United States, it's not that you meet in the middle. You just have to go up some, and we come down a lot. They go up a little, we come down a lot. So we're at $130, they're at 10. So they may have to go to 20 or 30. No more than that. I said, Emmanuel, you're going to be doubling or tripling? No. I said, here's the story, Emmanuel. The answer is you're going to do it. You're going to do it fast. And if you don't, I'm putting a 25% tariff on everything that you sell into the United States and a 100% tariff on your wines and champagnes. And that's about 10 times more than what I'm requesting. And you're going to do it. I don't want to go public with it, but you may make me do that. No, Donald, I will do it. I will do it. It took me, on average, 3 minutes a country saying the same thing. You will do it. They all said, no, I will not do it. You're asking me to double the cost of prescription. I said, that's right, because you've been screwing us for 30 years.
The simple truth is the rest of the world rides on the coattails of the United States. They need the U.S., not the other way around. He knows how to sniff out the weak ones. That's like Donald Trump's special ability. He knows how to take advantage of people who are weak and just squeeze. Now, on the flip side here, we've got Secretary General for NATO, Mark Rutte, saying that Donald Trump was right. Obviously, that's not what they want to hear at the World Economic Forum.
So statements from me will not add anything here. And when it comes to the Arctic, I think President Trump is right. Other leaders in NATO are right. We need to defend the Arctic. We know that these sea lanes are opening up. We know that China and Russia are increasingly active in the Arctic. There are 8 countries bordering on the Arctic. 7 are a member of NATO. That's Finland and Sweden and Norway and Denmark, Iceland, Canada and the US. And there's only 1 country bordering on the Arctic outside NATO, and that's Russia. And I would argue there is a 9th country, which is China, which is increasingly active in the Arctic region. So President Trump and other leaders are right. We have to do more there. We have to protect the Arctic against Russian and Chinese influence. And that's exactly what NATO ambassadors decided to do in September. We are working on that, making sure that collectively will we defend the Arctic region.
And jumping back outside, we've got Francois-Philippe Champagne getting questioned. I'll give him some props. He's the only one who answered questions, really, and didn't shy away from the camera. Justin Trudeau did eventually answer a few questions. He was timid and scared, basically didn't want to say much.
Can I ask you a question about China and Qatar? Both of those countries have
If you say so.
Can I ask you a question about China and Qatar? Both of those countries have human rights records, and you guys didn't emphasize that publicly. Did you raise that privately with them?
What I would say, every G7 countries have found a word to engage in a strategic fashion with China, for example, with eyes wide open, and Canada is no different. So, we remain very true to our own values, but at the same time, as you've seen with all our G7 partners, people find a way to engage with China.
But a lot of the
people find a way to engage with China. Yeah, of course, when money's involved.
Deal with China.
Okay. But what would be the
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
No, but that's okay.
Thank you very much, Minister.
There's always
I don't know who this lady is. She's trying to get Champagne away from Ezra Levant.
She's on TV. I just need to know where I'm going.
I'm not asking unfair questions, I don't think.
Listen, I'm working with you.
Thank you for that.
I'm working with you.
Now, Doug Ford says that Chinese-made electric vehicles have spyware in them. I think he's talking about the cameras and sensors that go through Chinese servers.
I call it the spy car that they're bringing in, and they won't be allowed to get over there. And it's going to tick off the Americans, and 80% of our autos are going down there. But now throw China in here for what? They aren't going to manufacture here. So it's just a terrible, terrible, miscalculated decision by the Prime Minister.
What do you think about that? Is that a risk?
I think you would have to ask him.
Israel recently limited Chinese electric vehicles that its officers can drive because they were worried about that threat. Do you think that it would be wise to have a limit that no Canadian forces could drive a Chinese-made EV?
Well, like I said, it's eyes wide open. That's what we have to do, and that's how we have to engage. Like I said, like all our G7 partners, which have found a strategic way to engage, eyes wide open.
You know, eyes wide open. Yeah, okay. The Liberal Party's so compromised by China. Eyes wide open. What's interesting is Tesla in China, they weren't allowed to build their facilities anywhere near any government buildings for the same reason. They have a whole bunch of sensors in Teslas. They didn't want their facilities or any of that technology near the government facilities in China. So China knows what's going on with that. They don't want to succumb to it either. And obviously China's putting that crap in their cars to spy on all of us.